The only financial advice I can give you is don't save and invest your money. In this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts on saving and investing and the whole shebang concerning money. So if that's something that interests you, please stick around and keep watching. Hi, my name is Lou. I'm pretty sure you've heard people on the internet talking about saving and investing, right? But then how are you going to save and invest when you don't have money to save and invest? Like, you literally make bare minimum money. How are you going to remove part of that to save and invest? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know about you, but it really doesn't make sense to me. I know it's common for people to say, I'm going to start saving when I have more money. I'm going to start developing good habits when I have more money. But that's not usually the case, because with money, everything is a bit more psychological than it is numerical. Yeah, I also don't know what that means. But let me try to break it down. The habits that you have when you have less money are probably the habits that you're going to have when you have more money. So in this season of you having less money, of you having a low income, or what you think is a low income, I would encourage you to develop good money habits such that the day you do have enough money or a lot of money, you'll be able to save and invest and also like build wealth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The first one is tracking your spending. I know a lot of people have talked about this, and sometimes it just feels like a broken record when you're constantly hearing the same thing over and over and over again. But I promise you, it's the truth. The moment you start knowing where your money goes, even if it's a low income, it's easy for you to not be surprised when you open your bank account and see a big fat zero. Okay, maybe not a big fat zero, but you know where your money went. The second habit might sound as if I'm contradicting myself, but hear me out, okay? You need to learn to save. I know I say don't save, but listen, at this stage of your life, you're not saving to save money, but you're saving to cultivate a habit of saving. I really hope that makes sense, because girl, I said a lot of saving in one sentence. Yo. Here's what I mean. When you're saving to save, or you're saving for something, or you have a target, you're going to put in more money. But in this situation, you don't have money, so there's no more money to put. So what I would encourage you to do is just practice putting away money for a later date. Even if you don't have proper plans for that money, I just want you to like start training yourself to live without some part of your income. Maybe you're wondering, fine, I need to cultivate this good habit of saving, right? Of putting money away. But then if you're like me and you have a tendency to put money away for a rainy day, and 2 weeks later, the rainy day comes, like, you know, it rains, you go back to your money and you get it. Why? I mean, I can't judge you, to be honest, because I've been there. I used to put money for a rainy day and it just used to rain like the next day, and I would get the money back. One thing that I did to help cultivate this saving habit and locking money away is by downloading the MyTalu app. This is not an ad, okay? It's not an ad, but I'm just here to tell you something that helped me. So there's an app called MyTalu, and when you open the app, you can make an account. Once you make an account, you can load money onto the app and then lock the money by date or by target. If you lock the money by date, say you lock it by 25th December 2026, the moment you deposit money into that saving pot, you will have no access to the money until the 25th of December 2026. If you lock the money by amount and you say, I'm trying to reach 5,000 kwacha, or I'm trying to reach 5,000 US dollars, you will not access that money until you reach your target of 5,000 kwacha, be it in a year, in 2 years, in 2 days, in 2 hours, whatever it be. As long as you haven't reached the 5,000 kwacha target that you put, you won't have access to your money. And I promise you, it hurt, because there were times when I genuinely wanted the money, but then I've locked it by date and I don't have access to it until that particular date. So did it hurt and sting? Yes. But did it help me save the money for that date when it's actually important? Yes, so I don't know. If that's going to help you, please feel free to download the MyTalu app and you can use my code in the description below. Another thing that I've noticed about saving and investing, especially when it comes to beginners, is they want to do everything that they see on the internet. Like, bro, chill. Like, you actually need to chill for real because there's so much information that you're consuming. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the first finance related video that you're watching. If you've watched like 4 other videos, that's already a lot. Like, a lot. And so rather than trying to split your little income into bonds, treasury bills, investing in stocks, buying equity or investing in equity, or opening a trust fund and putting money there, and then trying to do a business, like, you do not have enough money. Okay, you really don't. So rather than splitting your money into all these investment vehicles, I would encourage you to just focus it in one investment vehicle, especially an investment vehicle that's guaranteed to give you a return. And you can use that as your emergency fund. What I would recommend, open a unit trust or buy some equity. That way you're going to earn interest on your money, because I feel like a unit trust is like a fancy savings account. This is just my opinion, by the way. The moment you start splitting your little income into 5, 6, 7 different investment vehicles, it's going to take super long for you to see proper return on your money. And then you're going to feel like, investment just doesn't work. No. You're splitting 100 kwacha into 5 investment vehicles. What do you expect? So if I had a low income, what I would do is open a unit trust, and if I'm able to save a little from that money, I would put it into my unit trust account. And later on, after I've built my emergency fund in the unit trust, that's when I can start buying stock. That's when I can start buying bonds. That's when I can start putting my money in treasury bills and all that jazz. I don't know if I touched on this already, but just listen to me, okay? If you are a beginner investor, I feel like it's very important for you to master how to make money more than it is how to invest. Both of them are important, okay, but then, like, how are you going to invest if you don't have the money to invest? You need to make money yourself in order for money to work for you later on. A lot of people who've talked about how they've made passive income, how they live on government bonds, how they live on treasury bills and stock dividend, it's because they put money there in the first place. Money didn't just start growing in their stock portfolio. They actually made the money and put it in the stocks. So you need to focus on making the money to put in the stocks. Focus on making money to put in the bonds, in the treasury bill, in whatever you're putting it into. I feel like a lot of like finance people don't talk about that enough, because they'll just say you need to invest, you need to do this, bonds, emergency fund, but where is the money coming from? You need to make it. And if you'd like to know how to make money, let me know in the comment section, and maybe I can do a video on different ways of making money, and I hope that's going to be helpful for you. The other piece of finance advice that I usually hear from people is when they talk about having an emergency fund. For me, as much as I feel like it's important to have an emergency fund, I think it's more important, or importanta, that's not a word, I made it up. I feel like getting clear on what an emergency looks like is more important than actually building an emergency fund. Because the thing is, once you start saving money for your emergency fund and you're not very clear on what an emergency actually is for you, almost anything will be an emergency. If your cousin comes and says, hey, I don't have money for school fees, that would be an emergency. If somebody says, oh my gosh, my cat needs help, I need to take it to the vet, that will be an emergency. So get clear on what an emergency is for you, and then start building your emergency fund. That way, when something that's not an emergency happens, you won't be tempted, or you won't be as tempted to use your money for that emergency, because you don't define an emergency by that. I really hope I'm not confusing you. And the last piece of advice that I hear people saying is invest in the stock market. Again, I do think it's important to invest in the stock market, but for me, I have a little different approach, okay? I always tell myself I'm only going to invest in stocks using money that I don't actually need, money that I won't need in 5 years, in 3 years, in 2 years. The moment you start investing money that you need on a daily basis or monthly basis, you easily sell your stock, and it's even easier to lose your money in the stock market whenever you do that. So my encouragement to you is to only save money that you don't need at all, okay, or you don't need anytime soon. And then that way you'll be able to just let your money grow and not think about it, because you didn't need the money really. Like, okay, you needed it, but like you didn't need it, you know? But like I said, I'm not a licensed financial expert. I'm just a girl in a jacket and pajamas talking about saving and investing. So I'll see you in my next video.